Biochem is probably the most heavily weighted subject on the MCAT exam. It's essential to have a really solid grasp of your biochem basics, but I know there's so much, so it can really feel overwhelming as you're trying to figure out what exactly to study. So today I'm going to dive into sort of exactly what you need to make sure you are extremely solid on going into your MCAT so that you can break that 500 and start to get into those competitive scores. I'm only going to focus on just really the highest yield, most commonly tested biochem subjects, and I'm going to break it into 5 different parts. So the first part is amino acids and protein structure. The most important biochem topic is amino acids. You must know all 20 amino acids, their structures, their abbreviations, and their 3-letter codes. You also need to know the chemical properties of amino acids: polar, nonpolar, acidic, basic, aromatic. That's on there quite a bit. You also need to know how these properties influence protein folding, interactions, and stability. You need to know protein structure: primary, secondary, alpha helices, beta sheets, tertiary, and quaternary structures. You need to also know protein denaturation factors such as temperature, pH, solvents, etc. Pro tip for your amino acids: learn mnemonics for groups of amino acids and practice them using flashcards daily. Regularly draw the structures from memory as well. That's going to make sure that it really is super solid in your brain. That's probably the highest yield thing in terms of all biochem that you want to make sure you have solid. The next part, enzyme and enzyme kinetics. Enzymes are pretty common on the MCAT, so you really want to make sure that you have a solid grasp of them. You want to know enzyme structure and function, active site, specificity, induced fit, lock and key, etc. You want to know the Michaelis-Menten kinetics. You want to make sure that you very clearly understand Km and Vmax. You want to know the Lineweaver-Burk plots. You want to be able to interpret slope and the X and Y intercepts. You also need to know the types of inhibition: competitive, non-competitive, uncompetitive, mixed inhibition, some of their key characteristics, and of course the graphs that go with them. You need regulatory enzymes. You want to make sure that you understand feedback inhibition and allosteric regulation. So for all of these topics, repeatedly practice interpreting the graphs. The graphs show up there quite a bit. So enzyme kinetic graphs and the calculations. It is a really common topic in the actual MCAT passages. The next part, metabolic pathways and energy production. Energy metabolism, it really is pretty essential on the exam. The MCAT frequently is going to test you through these pathways to make sure that you know and understand them. You want to have glycolysis down, memorize the irreversible steps, the rate-limiting enzymes, the intermediates, net ATP and NADH produced. You want to make sure that you have pyruvate oxidation down, understand pyruvate dehydrogenase complex very, very thoroughly. You've got to have your Krebs cycle, your citric acid cycle. You want to know the key enzymes, the reaction steps, the products, and the regulation points. You also want to know oxidative phosphorylation, and electron transport chain. You want to make sure that you know the role of each complex, the proton motophores, ATP synthase mechanism, and the inhibitors like cyanide. You also need to know your gluconeogenesis, the key enzymes, the bypass steps, and how it's regulated differently from glycolysis. The connections between the metabolic pathways are also very, very important in the hormonal regulation. So insulin, glucagon, epinephrine, etc. To really solidify these pathways, you could draw them repeatedly and make sure that you are also understanding the connections and the key control points as you're going through them. Part 4, you need DNA and RNA genetic basics. You need to know genetic information, the flow of it. It is very heavily emphasized on the MCAT. So you need DNA structure, nucleotides, the sugar phosphate backbone, hydrogen bonding, and complementary base pairing. You also need to know the DNA replication process, enzymes like DNA polymerase, ligase, primase, helicase, leading versus lagging strand, Okazaki fragments. All of these topics are very, very important. You need transcription mechanisms, so RNA polymerase, promoters, enhancers, and termination signals. You also need RNA processing, introns, exons, splicing, poly-A tails, 5' caps, and then translation steps, initiation, elongation, termination, ribosome structure, and the role of tRNA. You also need mutation types and their impacts, so frame shift, nonsense, silent mutations, etc. And you need basic gene regulation, operons, promoters, transcription factors, and epigenetic regulation. Make sure that you practice applying these concepts thoroughly using both multiple choice questions and passage-based questions. So you're really used to actually applying the concepts as well. The last part are laboratory techniques. Laboratory experiment excerpts are pretty common in passages on the biochem section. You want to make sure that you understand gel electrophoresis. You want to make sure that you understand Western blotting, Southern blotting, and Northern blotting basics. You also need to understand PCR, the steps, the components, and the applications as well. You need to understand DNA sequencing. You want to understand the Sanger method basics. And of course, chromatography. Chromatography is probably, it's very common. You want to know size exclusion, affinity, and ion exchange. So make sure that you understand the purposes and the principles behind each of these techniques. And of course, you want to be able to recognize the data interpretation inside the questions. I know that was a lot. To recap, your main things that first you want to focus on for your biochem prep, really amino acids above everything else. And then once you've got your amino acids, you need enzymes, metabolism, gene flow, and lab techniques. These areas all really, really consistently show up on the MCAT. I hope that was helpful breaking it down for you. If you liked this video or if it was helpful, subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, and we are here every week giving you more tips. Thanks for watching, and let's get you those competitive MCAT scores.